Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this week we're going to do same picture, different medium. So this is the picture we did last week, and before I start doing this week's picture I'm going to show you how to preserve your pencil pictures. This is called Fixative and it is colourless spray which you spray all over your drawing to permanently fix the graphite particles in place and stop them from future smudging. Now I'm doing a little drawing here just of a square and also some shading, and if you see I'm smudging, that's how it smudges normally, and you can erase perfectly easily. Now I'm going to show you what happens after you've sprayed it. So you need to shake the can well before you spray it, and I'm having to spray it so that it's flat on the ground, but I would advise you to do it more maybe on an easel or something because it does drip. Now I always manage to saturate the paper, which I don't think you're really supposed to, and it does with thin paper like this copy paper, it does make it cockle. You can see the cockles. Now don't try this until it's completely dry or else you'll make an awful mess of your paper. So you see it's not erasing anymore. And this is not smudging. It will still smudge a little bit, but not as much. You can go in and redraw over the top of it. I use this for pastel drawings as well and coloured pencil drawings. I do find with pastel that it changes the whole thing quite a lot. Right, now the paper may cockle, and as you see it's a very thin paper, but we'll just have to bear with that. If you were using proper drawing paper it would be much better. So just spray in short bursts across your drawing. The black hair is the thing that will smudge the most, so that is the thing that we want to fix the most, plus the stripes on his dungarees. I've been told that I use far too much and that it needs to be a thinner layer, so maybe you can do the same, a thinner layer. I did put down a backing of some cardboard onto my desk because I did not want to ruin my nice new desk. So the next thing to do, you can see where it's wet here and here. That will dry out completely and you won't be able to see those marks. So back to this is the drawing again that we're going to do, and I'm going to use the same tracing as last week. This week I'm going to go over it with a blue pencil just so that I can see where I have gone over. You don't need to put any more graphite on the back of your tracing, there will still be ample there. So I'm just going to trace around all the outlines of the drawing, but I will speed it up a little bit because it is quite laborious. Like last week I taped my tracing down to the drawing paper so that it wouldn't move, and you now need to remove that and you will have the image transferred to your drawing paper. One thing going back to the fixative is that you should use it either outside or in a well ventilated room because it does contain ethanol or ethanol, however you pronounce it, and it always does make me feel slightly shaky. Right, now these are the ink pens that I'm going to use. They are made by Pigma Micron, and they come in this packet. They come in various sizes from 005 to 01, 02, 03, 05, 08, and a brush pen. So I'm starting off with about a 0.01, and I'm just going to do the whole outlines first. Now we're going to use the kind of pointillist type way of shading, dotting, which you can do this in various ways. You could just not do an outline at all, and you could do everything in dots. It does take quite a long time to do, but that is one way, and it does look quite attractive like that. Another way is you do your outlines and then you vary the nib size for your dots. I've done a bit of both. I've done the outlines, and I'm also going to use this brush pen here for doing the hair. So I'm not doing that with the dots. I'm doing this. This is a really nice pen. It kind of flows nicely and it's got a brush tip, not a hard nib. And so I'm just filling in. When I'm doing the hair, I go with the way that the hair would fall. And this fills in large areas of black really fast. So I'm also using it for the stripes on his dungarees. And I find this really quite therapeutic. It's a bit like those mindfulness colouring books and colouring when I was a kid. So that's probably where I get it from. I think sometimes I enjoy the mechanics of art more than anything else. I enjoy the process, the actual application of colours and pens and inks and all sorts of different things. I get totally lost in it. I find it very engrossing, which is probably why I carry on doing it. You just become so totally absorbed in it that all your troubles kind of fade away for a few hours. Now here I'm dotting. For his eyebrows I've actually done some short strokes. And dotting is just one method of shading with pen and ink. There are lots and lots of others, and some people don't like dotting because it does make portraits look a bit like they have some weird disease, but I quite like the finished appearance. So you'll have to make your own judgment on that, but it's worth having a go at. It does take a very long time and it is quite laborious. Now I have a dotting pen, which is a rechargeable pen that the nib goes up and down and dots down ink. So it's a great tool, and I was going to show it to you today. However, when I got it out, there's something wrong with the on-off switch. So I'm going to have to save that for a later day if I can get it repaired. And instead I have to just kind of do it manually. Now what you'll notice is that I'm holding the pen in a completely different position to how I would normally hold a pencil or any drawing tool. It's very vertical, and that just makes it easier for doing the dotting. If not, you would probably not have dots, you would have kind of lines. And when you want to make something darker, you just do more dots or go with a thicker nib. But what you have to remember with pen and ink is if you make a mistake, that's it, boing. You know, there's nothing you can really do about it. So you have to be fairly confident. But it's good fun to have a go, and it is definitely a good learning experience and something to experiment with. Now, as always, this is just the first layer, and I will come back again to darken it. And the same with his neck. And don't forget, we've got to, when we come to do the neck, that chin shadow will always be there in order to give the illusion of 3 dimensions to his neck and face. Now coming in and doing a little bit of the sleeve and the illustrations on his sleeve. I'm kind of moving around a bit on this drawing. And because I'm holding the pen so vertically, it does make you being able to see what I'm doing quite difficult because the camera is dead above me. So my hand does hide what I am actually drawing at the time. Coming in here again and making things a little bit darker by adding more and more dots. And to get the really nice subtle effect, you should really use the smallest nib you have. Now in this set I have a 0.005, however I've used that so much that that one is empty. So I've had to use bigger nibs. You can buy these pens singly in various sizes, but I have never seen a 0.005 for sale singly. And indeed most of the other sets I've seen don't have a pen that small, so I might end up having to buy another one of these sets. This one cost me around about £15 I think for the whole set, which isn't too bad, because you've got 7 pens. Yeah, 7 pens in there, including the brush pen. Okay, again, just keep darkening and darkening all the time. And adding more and more shadows again on the neck here. And the ear. I'm coming in again on these illustrations on his shirt sleeve and making them darker, and also adding some shadows. Now I'm trying to do all the different illustrations on his shirt, and then coming back in to add some shadows into his dungarees to give those folds, creases in the fabric, and the little badge that's on the pocket. And just generally, as I notice anything, then I will go to that point and draw it. That's why my hand sort of dances around a lot from place to place. Because as you change one thing, so you notice that something near it needs changing as well. One thing that I think beginners find it difficult is to know when a drawing is finished. And it is easy to kind of do too much and overwork it, but the more drawings you do, I think you'll find that gets easier and you know when it's done. And here coming in and putting some shading in his arms. You don't see much of his arms in this picture. And this Wednesday I will be doing my grandson at 10 months old. So we're getting very close to that year point. Can't believe that time has gone so fast. Very different world this time last year though. And I hope you're all keeping well. Now next week I'm actually going to do same picture, different medium, and this time I'm going to do a watercolour portrait. So we're going to add colour from next week onwards. So you'll be really sick of this picture by the end. But it's just a very good way to show you how different a particular drawing can be with different mediums. And it's also fun to try out different mediums because you do get bored with just doing one. And I used the pencil to start with because during lockdown it was something that most people, I think, would have in their home and using copy paper. So now it's easier to get out and about and go to the shops, or even to order online, I guess. I thought that I would diversify a little bit and show you some other tools so that you can expand your drawing horizons and continue your adventure into drawing and art, which hopefully can become a lifelong journey. Now we are beginning to wrap up this drawing, it's coming to an end, so hopefully you will have enjoyed my video and it will give you the inspiration to go out and have a go yourself. And if you have enjoyed the video and found it informative, please hit the like button, and you can also subscribe to see more. And if you also press the little bell notification, you will get a little notification every time I publish a new video. So I will be showing you the finished picture in just a moment. And also I will be showing you the two pictures side by side, last week's pencil drawing compared to this week's pen and ink drawing. I think on the whole I actually prefer the pencil drawing in this particular case, but I'll leave it up to you to make your own decisions. Thank you for watching. So it just remains for me to say stay well, stay happy, and happy painting. See you next week. Bye.